Up All Star and Counter Fire will be the last. Just waiting for Cilla. She's getting a bit agitated, not wanting to go in at the moment. She'll be the last one to go in here. The one-time outright favourite, now 320 each of two with Cilla and Atlantic Sentinel. So just not sure what the hold-up is here. Cilla, the only one out of line. Got the barrier blanket on the mare here. She's got gate 1. So I'm just wondering if one's gone into the wrong barrier here or something. This is hard to tell from here what the hold-up is, but they're making no attempt to bring Cilla in just yet. They might have had a mix-up with the gates here, I think. Yeah, they're pulling one out. It's Shah Fueled. Now Shah Fueled's been backed out. And they're looking at it, are they? I'm not sure what's happening here, to be honest. Here's Jim Walsh, Chairman of Stewards, to help us out. Yes, Jim? Oh, okay. Tongue tie, is it? Thanks, Jim. Thank you. So it's a tongue tie issue with Shah Fueled. They had difficulty reapplying that tongue tie while the horse was in the barriers, and they've had to back it out to do that. Cilla, meanwhile, looks to have gone in, so once the tongue tie's on Shah Fueled, we'll be right. We're now running a bit behind time here. Latest from the betting, Atlantic Sentinel 320, 330 for Cilla with tab, Red Ochre 440, $8 Counter Fire. So that we're continuing with Shah Fueled with the tongue tie here. The attendants are working to get that reapplied. Previous race won by King Mandu. King Mandu giving Keith Dryden a double, and Brendan Ward's had a good day at the office as well. He's ridden 2. He also scored on Callaway Cruiser in an earlier race. The other winner for the Dryden stable was Barksdale, but Rachie Hunt was in the saddle there. Now Shah Fueled's coming back in here. So he's got the tongue tie on. And he's right. In goes Shah Fueled. Barb Joseph and Paul Jones also chasing a double. Their impressive 2-year-old Mercurial Lad won the first. He's a nice horse. Ready to go now. They're off. And Cilla from the inside jumped away evenly, showing a bit of speed. Atlantic Sentinel. Red Ochre is also up in the firing line early with Overheard. But Red Ochre's going to go through and take the lead from Overheard. All Star striding up to make a line of 3. They were being closely followed by Cilla. It's the inside of Shah Fueled. Atlantic Sentinel gets back with Counter Fire. And last of all was Lincoln Memorial. Still a wall of 3 runners here as they stride down the back straight. In the centre, Overheard's just got the bib in front with Red Ochre, the rails, and All Star 3 wide. Behind those runners was, as they settle down, Cilla, the race favourite, over toward the inside as they go off the back straight now, being followed by Shah Fueled. A break of 4 or 5 lengths to Atlantic Sentinel, who's just being niggled at the inside of Counter Fire. And back last, Lincoln Memorial. Red Ochre now goes clear here up towards the 700 metres. It's 1 length to All Star. Overheard is under pressure. Cilla starts to track up on the rails, followed by Shah Fueled. Further back was Counter Fire, Atlantic Sentinel, and tailed off Lincoln Memorial. Red Ochre brings them up for the swing. At the 500 metres mark, Cilla looks a danger. It strides into second place and is now challenging. Followed on the outside by Shah Fueled. Then came Counter Fire and Atlantic Sentinel's run up behind them. Red Ochre headed off quickly by Cilla. Cilla sprinted to the lead. Atlantic Sentinel trying to run on. Counter Fire to the outside and then Shah Fueled, but it's Cilla in front with 200 metres left to go from Atlantic Sentinel. Counter Fire, Red Ochre plugs away, but Cilla is clear coming to the 100. Counterfire the outside, and Atlantic Sentinel battle out the minors, but it is all Cilla. Despite a betting drift, she will bolt in. Cilla breaks the maiden today, wins it by 3 lengths. Beat home Counterfire, Atlantic Sentinel, Red Ochre 4th. Then came Shah Fueled. They're coming in at long gaps here. Lincoln Memorial was next, followed by Overheard and All Star the last in. Cilla, despite a betting drift. Matty McGilvray in the saddle. He's on loan in Sydney, doing a bit of riding down here. He's a good young apprentice. And he gave that mare an absolute gun from barrier 1. Sat her in behind the speed and it was too good. Not sure how many winners he's ridden in New South Wales, McGilvray. But Cilla getting home from here. John Sargent, the winning trainer. 12, 10, 1 and 6. 140 and 80 is the time. Last 600, 39.63. 12, 10, 1 and 6 on race number 7. But Cilla, she was a maiden taking on horses in that race who had won. The second horse, Overheard, finishes off well. He was also a maiden. But Atlantic Sentinel, he'd won a race previously, and so too had Red Ochre. So the maideners dominate there. 12, 10, 1 and 6, 140 and 80. Margin 4.5 by a half neck on race number 7 from Canberra.
All right, Gareth, solid win Cilla today. She was robbed in, didn't she?
Yeah, no, it's taken her a while to acclimatise since she's come over from New Zealand, but she's been looking for the extra distance and the wet track, so this was just made for her today.
She got a nice run in the transit as well. A lot of speed on there, wasn't there?
Yeah, no, Maddie gave her a beautiful, beautiful ride. First winner since she's come down from Queensland, so our new apprentice, so he's got a lot going for him.
He would have got a shock today turning out by Canberra being from Queensland, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I did tell him to put the thermal on, but he didn't listen to me, but he'll have it on next time.
He'd have warmed up through the run there, but look, only lightly raced, and look, I suppose she put the riding on the wall. The 12 and the 1400 metre runs had been good, and look, she'd get further than that too by the look of her.
Oh, I think definitely, yes. No, she's got a reasonable good future as a nice stone filly.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, have you got any more left today? Johnny brought Swift Lady down, nothing in the last?
No, nothing in the last. Yeah, Swift Lady, she's gone good, but big weight just probably told and probably looking for 1400.
All right, well, I think we can follow Cilla further on into a prep, mate. She was pretty solid there.
Thank you.
There we go. Gareth from John Sargent's and Matthew McGilvray. We'll see how he's... That cold won't worry him whatsoever now after that win. Matt McGilvray, your first trip to Canberra. You're pretty happy with the way that race was run?
Yeah, look, you know, she was sort of looking for that trip and this kind of track. So she ran first up really well in New Zealand over a bog track. So no, she definitely loved it.
And mate, sprinted off into the sunset. You get further than that as well?
Absolutely. You know, she settles really well in the races, and you know, the speed was pretty genuine, and it sort of helped her with no weight on her back. She just done it pretty easy.
Now, mate, how long have you been down from Brisbane now? You with Johnny Sargent at Randwick?
Yes, I am. I've been here for about 3 weeks now.
And you got some nice rides tomorrow as well?
Yeah, I've got 3 rides tomorrow. Well, I initially had 4, but one was scratched in race 1. Yeah, I've got 3 rides tomorrow, and one of them is a really good chance, so hopefully we make something of it. All
right, mate, let's hope you get some more opportunities. You will if you ride them like that every time. Welcome to Canberra and well done on Cilla.
Thank you, appreciate it.
There we go, Matty McGilvray. Cilla off into the sunset by a mile. It was pretty easy on course. 12, I can't even see the numbers from here. The sun is on the board, but it looks like 12, I think it was 10 for second counterfire it was. And the top weight, Atlantic Sentinel, had his chance and he ran third. 6 was fourth. Red Ochre went way too hard with those blinkers on for the first time. But Cilla too good. Up we go to Casino in the yard. There is my old mate Gary Cleese.